Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I think there is some technical issue with the Zoom, it seems. Without wasting time, let me quickly share my screen. So I'll just take a quick recap, last two sessions. So we talked about management, then we talked about what are the characteristics of management. Then we talked about the what are the elements involved in the management function and who will be monitoring which functions like top management, middle management, and supervisory management. Then we talked about Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management, which talks about division of work, authority, discipline, and the unity of command, unity of direction, subordination, talking about remuneration, centralization, chain of command, etc., scalar chain, etc. Then we also talked about what are the different roles, the managerial roles as a manager, or if you become a manager, what are the various roles we used to play in the organization. Okay? Intrapersonal or informative role or decision roles. Then we talk about the authority and power. We have seen difference between authority and power. Then we talked about span of management. So basically, it talks about the number of people can be assigned to a specific manager or a supervisor. Okay. Then we talked about these two structures, narrow structure and tall structure. Yeah. So we talked about this narrow and tall structure or a flat structure, where it talks about a narrow structure. Here, the number of levels or the people will be very high. When you talk about the flat or wide structure, where the people or number of levels will be lesser. Then we also discussed the difference between these two. Then we talked about delegation and decentralization. What does it mean? So basically, delegation, it is nothing but wherever you have an authority, you can delegate your subordinates only. You can't delegate your authority to your superiors because your superior is having a more authority than you. So you can't delegate your authority to your superiors. You can delegate your authority to your subordinates only. సో బేసిక్ ఏమవుతుంది, మనకున్న పవర్ని మన కింది వాళ్ళకి, అంటే మనకి ఎవరైతే రిపోర్ట్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకు మాత్రమే మనం డెలిగేట్ చేయగలం. మనకంటే పైన అధికారంలో ఉన్న వారికి మనం డెలిగేట్ చేయలేం బికాస్ ఆల్రెడీ దే ఆర్ పవర్ఫుల్ ఆర్ దే ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ మోర్ అథారిటీ దెన్ us. Okay. And here the main point is you can't delegate your responsibility. అంటే మనకున్న రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీని మనం డెలిగేట్ చేయలేం because ultimately that is your day to day and you are accountable for set of activities. You can't delegate or you can't escape even though you have delegated that. So you'll be ultimately accountable for that. Then we talked about the importance also, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Then we talked about principles of delegation. Okay. I think we not yet discussed the difference between delegation and decentralization. Okay. Yes. Fine. Let me start from here. So when you talk about decentralization of authority, it is nothing but everything that goes to increase the importance of subordinates role is decentralization. When you say centralization, it is nothing but there is no importance given to the subordinates. సెంట్రలైజేషన్ అంటే ఏంటంటే కింద స్థాయిలో ఉన్న వ్యక్తులకి అక్కడ ఎటువంటి రికగ్నిషన్ అనేది ఏమి ఉండదు. దే వోంట్ కేర్ అబౌట్ ద పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ ది బాటమ్ లైన్. సో దే వోంట్ కన్సల్ట్ ఫర్ ఎనీ డెసిషన్స్. అంటే వాళ్ళని అడిగి ఎటువంటి డెసిషన్స్ కానీ ఎటువంటి యాక్టివిటీస్ కానీ జరగదు. సో ఆల్మోస్ట్ టాప్ మేనేజ్మెంట్లోనే డెసిషన్స్ అన్ని కూడా తీసుకుంటారు. సో దాన్ని మనం సెంట్రలైజేషన్ అంటాము. ఎప్పుడైతే దెర్ ఇస్ ఎన్ ఇంక్రీజ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ది సబార్డినేట్స్, ఎక్కువ సబార్డినేట్స్ కి ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇచ్చి డెసిషన్స్ కానీ ప్రొసీజర్స్ కానీ రిస్క్ అసెస్మెంట్స్ కానీ ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్స్ కానీ ప్రొడక్షన్ ప్లానింగ్ కానీ క్వాలిటీ ప్లానింగ్ కానీ ఏదైనా జరుగుతుందో, ఈవెన్ సేఫ్టీ ప్లానింగ్ కానీ జరుగుతుందో, సో దాన్ని మనం decentralization antam. So basically, everything is which goes to reduce, it is centralization. Opposite. So you are not giving any importance to the subordinates called centralization. You are giving more importance to the subordinates called decentralization. Okay. Now we see the basic difference between delegation and decentralization. So it is a technique of management. It is a philosophy of management. So when you say technique, it is basically to improve the people. It is a general philosophy saying that, okay, we'll just give or take the ideas from the subordinates. Relationship between supervisor and subordinate. When you talk about delegation, it is a pure relation between the supervisor and subordinate, or a manager and assistant manager, a senior manager and manager, a supervisor and a worker, a supervisor and a foreman. So here the relation between top management and other departments or divisions. So here the top management will take a decision without asking any department heads. They say that, okay, from next month onwards, we have to do 10 tons etc. or 10 tons extra. నెక్స్ట్ మంత్ నుంచి మనం 10 టన్నులు ఎక్స్ట్రా ప్రొడక్షన్ చేయాలి. అది సెంట్రలైజేషన్. అదే వేరొక మేనేజ్మెంట్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఏ, వితౌట్ ఆస్కింగ్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ హెడ్స్ or without discussing with production quality or R&D, they directly declared that from next month onwards, we have to produce 10 ton extra on what we are currently doing. And there is a management B, where they called all the management people, I mean the managers or production managers. Then they asked for, okay, how we can increase the existing production plus 10 tons extra. How we can make it increase of 5% or 2% on existing production or existing productivity. So that is decentralization. So here the delegation happens between two people. Decentralization happens between the management and the departments or the divisions or number of units. I can say from the board and the unit heads simply. It is essential and useful. It is optional. The management may or may not disperse the authority. So here it is essential and useful. So it is very much required. The delegation is very much required, because where it increases the relation. Excuse me. Here it is essential and useful because here it will increase the relation between the manager and the subordinate, and also it will unlock the skill which is there in the subordinates. Yeah. Okay. So it is optional. So when you talk about decentralization, it is not mandate, or it is sometimes it may not be useful, or sometimes may be useful. But person who delegates holds the control over the subordinate. So here, whoever delegates the authority, it is not mean that, okay, you will give to a different person. For example, we are working in a safety department. I can delegate to the person who or to whom I can control completely, in the sense who reports to me. I can't delegate my power to a quality department, saying that, okay, the quality assessment manager, I'll say that, okay, आज एक दिन के लिए आप permit में signature करेंगे, or you can do the signatures on the permit. You can't delegate, right? Because he is not your reportee, or he is not reporting to you, or you are not the control person on that man. And control is delegated to the departmental heads. Sometimes the management say that, okay, you people just think and take the decision how much we can able to improve. And it is a process of or act. It is a end result of delegation. So when you talk about it is a process or an act, and the action. So decentralization is the result of delegation. When you say result of delegation, in the fourth point, the management told, okay, to all the production heads, saying that, okay, you people can take the delegation, where they have done the delegation. So then it has become a decentralization of process. In the sense, they have given the importance to the management. That we have to understand. Delegation, the management delegated the authority to take the decision on the improving of production capacity to the departmental heads. That is delegation. Then at the result, in the sense, they have given the importance to the departmental heads to take the decisions. It is a decentralization is a result of delegation. Okay. So delegation is possible without decentralization. Decentralization is not possible without delegation. Okay. Without decentralization also we can delegate, but without decentralization or decentralization is not possible without delegation, because the management not at all giving any importance to the lower level people or the departmental heads or the managers, then there will not be any chance of existence of decentralization. Okay. So basically ఏమవుతుందంటే డెలిగేషన్ వల్ల మనకి డీసెంట్రలైజేషన్ జరుగుతుంది. డెలిగేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి? మనకున్న అథారిటీలో కొంత అథారిటీని కొంత టైంకి, అంటే అఫీషియల్గా అన్అఫీషియల్గా కానీ వేరే వాళ్ళకంటే మనకి కింద ఉన్న సబార్డినేట్స్కి అసైన్ చేయడము టు గెట్ ది వర్క్ డన్. Decentralization ఏంటంటే you are giving an importance to the management, you are considering the ideas, or you are giving power, or you are giving authority to take the decisions, where that is decentralization. So simply giving more responsibilities or response to the management people or subordinates is called decentralization. Okay. Now we'll see some of the advantages and disadvantages with respect to the decentralization. So basically, first we talk about the advantages, then we cover the disadvantages. లాభాలు నష్టాలు with respect to decentralization. దీనివల్ల జరిగే లాభ నష్టాలు ఏంటి? Number one, relief a top executives. So basically, it gives a relief to the top executives where they need not to spend much time on development activities, where they will give it to the department heads. And motivation of subordinates. So definitely, it will give a motivation, saying that okay, so you just people think of and take the decision. Say that okay, they will automatically get motivated. Okay, the management is believing us. They motivate themselves and they can work hard. Quick decisions. So if at all the management has to take the decision, they have to understand the complete process, how much we are doing, how much is the raw material, how much is the energy consumption, and how many manpower we require. So how the logistics supposed to be planned, what about the quality team, existing load, everything they have to see. So then here, if you're assigning to a production guy who is doing a day-to job on that, so there the decision can be quickly taken. అంటే ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ మనము డెసిషన్స్ ఈజీగా తొందరగా తీసుకోవచ్చు. Effective communication. So when we talk about decentralization, where the communication also very effective and efficient supervision and control. So here, because of decentralization, the supervision also should be increased. Growth and diversification. Diversification in the sense you will go to the different departments or getting the things done. The growth also will be higher for the employees who is taking the roles. Then development of initiative and responsibilities. So automatically when you have the decentralization, where the management is giving a more support to an employee, where he can come up with very good initiatives, where he can always try to do some improvements in the process or where the area he is working. Boost morale. So automatically his morale will increase, self-respect will increase, and simplifies the division of work. So automatically when you're giving decentralization, so it makes easy to portion the total amount of activity. So who's supposed to be done what and how they have to do. It is easy to get the activities. And development of leadership. So where you are giving more responsibilities or giving more attention on the subordinates, where automatically their leadership also gets increases. Stability and continuity. So automatically the process gets stable, people get stable, and also you can see the continuity on the initiatives which we have taken. Then flexibility. So it is also one thing where the people in the process also people will be very flexible. It will increase the flexibility of the people, where because they take the responsibility of the management, so they will give more attention to the activities. And development harmony, it is nothing but a culture and perceives grip on the market. So when you say perceives grip on the market, in the sense where the subordinates are having a positive mindset in the organization, so where they automatically works properly, so they won't attempt for any what do you call unsafe actions or any malpractices or deviating the procedures or practices, where you will not find any problems with respect to the quality delivery. So when there is no problem with the quality and delivery, automatically you will have extra edge in the market. So the customer always uh, prefers to go with the same supplier. Okay. Then disadvantages. Difficulty to coordinate, because if you say giving authority to the multiple people, so it is very difficult to understand, okay, the status of each role of the people and also the activity which we have assigned. So if it is a one person, the management is taking decision, there is no need of coordination. అక్కడ coordination చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Expensive staff cost. So when you're depending on mostly on the number of people, so they may think that, okay, we need from each department for each activity, we need a person who can take care of that. So the number of people will be increased, so it is going to be cost for the company. Then problems of control. So when talk about executive development and the problems of control, so here in other side it will develop the people, and same way the problems which are created by the people. The number of people means the more problems. As we know, the accident scenarios or Hendrich accident triangle, where we have 300 near misses, 29 minor cases, and one a major case. So in the sense, there will be a chance of 329 incidents prior to a major accident. That is the incident hierarchy, Mr. Henry Rich has proposed. So why it is only 300? So we are not sure. Maybe you would have done analysis or research saying that if at all a 29 minor incidents supposed to happen, where there is a chance of 30. Just a second, please. So Enrich triangle, even if you search in Google also, you will get it. So he says that 300 near misses, 29 minor cases, and one a major. For example, this is a near miss. Okay, these are minor accidents, and this is a major one. So, for example, if this 29 supposed to happen, there would be a already 30 cases or 300 cases of minor cases, in the sense near miss cases, unsafe actions or unsafe conditions already would have happened prior to this. Then if you are not having control here, automatically definitely there will be a major accident chance to happen. That's why we used to focus on first all these unsafe actions, then or near misses, then we can able to control this 300. If you are able to control this 300, there will be a very less chance to happen this 29. Then there will not be a chance of happening of this major accident. There is a one more theory. Anybody having idea what is meant by unsafe action quickly? Unsafe action or unsafe condition.
Unsafe action means violation against safety rules.
Okay. What is unsafe condition?
Unsafe condition is a hazardous condition.
Unsafe condition is hazardous condition. Okay.
It is directly permitted, directly promoted to the incident or accident.
Okay. So I got an example. Unsafe action is nothing but a wet floor. Okay.
Slippery surface.
Okay. Fine. So when we talk about unsafe action, thanks, Venkatramana. So when we talk about unsafe action, unsafe condition, and the last one, act of God. These are the key factors where the chances of accidents used to define. So when you talk about unsafe actions, where there is a chance of 80% or accidents happens due to unsafe actions, and 18% of accident used to happen because of unsafe condition, and 2% of actions or 2% of accidents used to happen due to act of God, which are not in our control. So when the unsafe actions will be more, అంటే ఎటువంటి పరిస్థితులలో అన్సేఫ్ యాక్షన్స్ ఎక్కువ జరగడానికి ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. ఎప్పుడు అన్సేఫ్ యాక్షన్స్ ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతాయి?
Worker negligence. Workers negligence.
ఓకే.
ఫర్ సపోజ్ ఏదైనా వర్క్ చేసేటప్పుడు, ఫర్ సపోజ్ హార్డ్ వర్క్ చేసేటప్పుడు, గ్రైండింగ్ అలాంటివి ఏమైనా చేసేటప్పుడు వర్కర్స్ ఫేసిల్ యూజ్ చేయకపోవడం, నెక్స్ట్ బాయిలర్ సూట్ ఆర్ యాప్రాన్ అది వేసుకోకపోవడం, అంటే చిన్న చిన్న పని కోసమే కదా అని వర్కర్ నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేయడం సేఫ్టీని. ఎనీథింగ్ వైలేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది సేఫ్టీ ఎగెనిస్ట్.
సో అన్సేఫ్ యాక్షన్స్ ఎలా కంట్రోల్ చేయొచ్చు?
హ్యాండ్ గ్లౌస్ అవి వేసుకోకపోవడం.
Good maintenance.
Good maintenance. What is mean by good maintenance?
PPE using, proper PPE using, sir.
Safety
Next,
checking, like
equipments inspection, sir.
Equipment inspection. Okay, multiple answers. Okay, fine. Thank you. No problem.
Next,
I got one more response. Overconfidence.
వర్కర్ కి అవేర్నెస్, సేఫ్టీ కోసం అవేర్నెస్ చెప్పాలి సార్. అంటే సేఫ్టీ అంటే ఇది, అంటే వర్కర్ మోటివేట్ అయ్యేలా, సేఫ్టీ గురించి అవేర్ అయ్యేలా వర్కర్ కి అనేది స్పీచ్ ఇవ్వాలి సార్.
ఓకే, మనం వర్కర్స్ ని మోటివేట్ చేయాలి. సూపర్. ఓకే, వెరీ గుడ్ ఆన్సర్. గ్రేట్. Thanks for the participation and your answers. So when you talk about unsafe actions, why it is 80%? Because where the number of people are more, where there is a chance of increase of unsafe actions. For example, in my process, there is no human intervention itself. There is no humans at all in my factory. So it indicates I can straight away eliminate 80% of accidents in my factory. Then unsafe conditions. When I talk about a condition, it is completely talk about the surroundings and the equipments and the tools. When I say equipment, whatever you name it, either it is a portable tool or which is operated by a mechanical or electrical, pneumatic, whatever the energy from the bigger machineries, even the hand tools. That is completely with the unsafe conditions, where a condition of equipment or a condition of a tool or a condition of a machine is not safe or which is danger in condition, then there is a circumstances of your atmosphere or your workspace where it is a slippery surface, high noise, vibration, high humidity, very low temperatures or very high temperatures, dust, mist. There is no proper ventilation or there is no proper illumination. All those are comes under unsafe conditions. When you talk about unsafe action, it is completely the human specific, where the actions of humans are not safe for himself or herself or to the others. So where you can take n number of examples, like without a training, who is operating a forklift or operating an equipment at unsafe speed, okay, bypassing the safety switches or safety systems, or violating the SOPs, or taking the shortcuts, not using PPEs. Okay, many things we can write, or ignorance, not taking the permit, etc., etc. Whatever the actions which are not safe for themselves and others, those actions all fall under unsafe actions. When we talk about conditions, here we talk about machines or equipments and surroundings. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm not written properly. It talks about the surroundings. Then last one is, it is 2% act of God. So where we can't able to control anything by our own. So the floods happen or tsunami came in or a thunderstorm, okay, whatever which is not in our control. So here the accidents we can able to control almost 98%, only 2% which is not in our hand. The more manpower, the more chance of accidents. Okay, because unsafe actions contributes to 80% of accidents in the organizations. Okay, just keep this mind, this concept. Fine. Great.
సార్
So when you talk
పీపీటీ
about,
సార్ ఇందులో
sorry,
పీపీటీ ఒకటి వస్తుంది, మీరు చెప్పింది ఒకటి ఉంది.
ఏంటండి
పీపీటీ వేరేది ఉంది ఇక్కడ ప్రెజెంటేషన్
నేను ఇక్కడ ఒక
మార్చట్లేదు.
ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకొని చెప్తున్నాను. నేను ఇక్కడ రాసింది కనపడుతుందా మీకు? టేబుల్ వేసింది
అదే సార్, అదే వస్తుంది, అందుకని అడిగాను. ఓకే ఓకే.
నేను ఈ
టేబుల్
స్లైడ్ మార్చి
అడ్వాంటేజెస్ అండ్ డిసడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఆఫ్
అందులో నుంచే మనం ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం డీవియేట్ అయ్యి ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ చెప్పాను అన్నమాట.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఓకే, then problem control, internal constraints. Flood speed to the, act of God, as I take an example. When I say floods, it is also a controllable thing, but it talks about the infrastructure and requirement. Even if the infrastructure also, the sophisticated infrastructure also is there, but still we can't able to control some of the situations where the human can't control. Those will be considered under act of God, which are nearly 2%, even sometimes even less than 1% also. But most of the things we have to do is, we must and should focus on unsafe actions, then conditions. So how we can control the unsafe actions? So majorly it talks about, first of all, we have to give a training or inform the people the expectations of the management on safety. So you are not telling anything. Simply say that, okay, follow safety, follow safety. So what they have to follow? What is mean by safety? So you have to clearly inform all the stakeholders, like all your employees, contractors, everybody. So this is what the management expectation. These are the rules and regulations or instructions you have to follow when you are within the plant and you are doing any certain activity. These are the job specific instructions they have to follow. So first of all, we should clearly fix the intentions or the requirements, then we can start giving the training and we are correcting the people. When you talk about unsafe conditions, so basically it talks about a good management or preventive maintenance, inspections, detection systems where we can install. Okay. Sure. Let us back to the presentation. So here the advantage effective communication, external constraints, example, market or unionism or government policies, where government policies also sometimes it makes difficult, and also the unionism. So unions, if you are giving more this thing to the union or giving to the subordinates, where there is a chance of taking as granted and they will not move the things forward. Then harmful in the case of any emergency. So when you say harmful in emergency, in the sense, in the case of any incidents happens, so it is difficulty to handle the situation. People may think that, okay, somebody else will take care of that, or somebody else will take the decision what's supposed to be done. And loss in staff service. So here also, then lack of uniformity. So when you talk about loss in staff service, so where the people take it granted and they may leave the organization. In the other side, there is a growth and diversification where they can learn the things and they can go away, or they can understand, or they can get matured or whatever they want to learn, then they can leave. Then lack of uniformity. So because if you're giving any one responsibility to a different type of people, or multiple people is involved, sometimes they may not come together. They may think that, okay, why I should go to him, or why I have to support him. So they try to make themselves better, or they try to showcase whatever the good things they have done, and then they try to put it on problems on other side. Then narrow product lines. So here when talk about narrow product lines, it basically a disadvantage where you have the very low systems, or the number of operations are very less. Then pressure increases on departmental heads, definitely yes. In other side, it makes this work easy, but other side, when you're taking the responsibility of any production quality or any department where you're responsible for certain targets, definitely you will have that pressure on you. So because sometimes if you're achieving that target, if it is fine, otherwise, even if you're not achieving till the achieving of the target, you will definitely have a pressure. Then importance and effect of supervisor or decreased. So here the supervisor or the effect of supervisors or superior or decrease, not supervisor, superior. So why it is superior decrease? Because they have given the authority and they have decentralized it. So the superior effect is not required here, because the management told, okay, you will take the ultimate decision. So I need not to involve on this. So definitely the superior importance will be decreased. The top management is need not to assess, or they don't want to assess, or their intervention will not be there. అంటే వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు కూడాను వచ్చి ఏం జరుగుతుందన్న దానికి చూసేదానికి అవకాశం తక్కువ ఉంటుంది, because they have given the authority. Okay. Now we talk about the safety management and its responsibilities. So basically, when you talk about the organization, so a society at large, so where you will have the industries. So within the industry, you will have safety and you will have the management. So where the industry and society or safety position. So basically, the higher level management can also be defined as it is definite or planned and also organized, set up whole purpose is an analyst and maintain the combined efforts of organized personnels for the purpose of total loss control. So leave about the definition. So basically, when I talk about the higher management, so they will have targets in this way that, and their purpose is to control the total loss or overall loss, including incidents and environmental protection in an industry or establishment. When you say total loss, here the two things will come. One is the loss to the people, like the human injuries or etc. And the other one, which talks about the loss of production, loss of materials, loss of machineries or equipments. When you are trying to control the human related accidents as well as the machinery related damages, that is called as total loss control. In the upcoming sessions, we can cover this in detail. That is the main purpose of the safety organization, where all your safety systems comes in, audits comes in, inspections comes in, trainings comes in, on-site emergency plans comes in. Okay, your monitoring, everything will be there to control the total loss. When you talk about the again safety management, again you will have a similar kinds of roles like planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and coordinating. So when you talk about planning with respect to the safety management, it basically first includes setting up the safety objectives. So what is the main objective of safety? So why the safety department is created? So what is the main objective of it? What is the major or the main objective of safety? Any guess? Safety యొక్క ముఖ్య లక్ష్యాలు ఏంటి? What is the goal of safety? Or we can say targets.
Zero incident.
Zero incident.
Zero incident, sir.
Oh, zero incidents. Okay. Have you seen any industry who reported zero incidents?
No, sir.
Is it possible practically?
No, sir.
Because when you say incident, it is
माइनर इंजरी भी हो सकता है, माइनर కూడా होता है.
हाँ, माइनर भी हो सकता है, मेजर भी हो सकता है. जो जीरो इंसिडेंट जो कहानी है, ये सुनने के लिए बहुत अच्छा रहता है. जीरो 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 सब कुछ जीरो.
हमारा जो मोटो है जीरो एक्सीडेंट और जीरो इंसिडेंट, लेकिन वो पॉसिबल नहीं है.
So basically we can say prevention, or some of the organizations they will clearly mention of zero reportable accidents or zero reportable incidents. So वो होने के लिए चांस है. When you say reportable, so basically it talks about एक बार एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद within 48 hours he is not able to join back to his duty.